Greetings and welcome to the energy of Libra. Thank you for tuning into the channel. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you to the channel. Thank you. The uh, the entity known as Terror of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I do thank you for the support of the channel and its contents. Please do toss a like or subscribe if you will for future content. We'll go and get started. There's a way of doing things in which you may be able to stand in the center of a great deal of attention. Um, there's something also about you moving into the future, looking at future prospects with great dignity and grace, essentially finding a way to figure out what your place is in, at least in the exoteric mode of doing things, how to find a certain reality. Okay, but you're being gifted a lot of attention from people who need your assistance in some sort of way. I don't think you're going to be giving them the attention. There's something about you that looks beyond the immediate quandary of necessity, of need, okay? At the same time, there's something about you that may teach something to another by uh, sort of sort of playing the sort of hard teacher in a type of way, meaning that your extrication or your leaving the situation is very much going to allow for a cycle to end. Okay, the Ten of Swords as well, the Ten of Rods, surrounding the Queens of Grace here. But I think overall, there's a type of way of doing things and existing within familiar company, familiar in terms of society. There's a social grace and elevation that you should embrace, and there's something about you that won't make time for minor communications or something that you have in mind that is, in terms of the Aquarian ideal, bigger. It's a way of doing things that is bigger, that is tied to um, the plight of human condition. And there's something that you are doing in terms of this style of ghosting that will help to teach others that need your assistance, but you seem to not have time for them. There is also a possibility here of something that may destabilize you in terms of a memory. Okay, this memory is something that is beautiful. It conjures up a great deal of nostalgia and emotional resonances, emotional bodies, and there's something about you that finds this pleasing. At the same time, there is a touch of grace that you have within it uh, that can be attributed to the qualms of Gemini and Virgo. Something about it where you are trying to balance out, or you may have in the past tried to learn from the situation, and even if it even if this memory is somewhat grotesque or deformed in any way, there still is a meaningful lightness about it. So the idea is to be distant from it, yet still be affected by it. Okay, let's move on. So today I shall be continuing with the Great Mirror reading. The Great Mirror is a tool devised by the Order in order to understand, um, essentially, the inherent karmas that may exist between you and a significant other. This does not have to resonate for you. Please do not look for resonance, but if you find it, let it let it fill you with guidance. I do thank you for tuning in. I claim to know nothing. However, there are things that we can possibly pull from the ether that could prove useful. There's a type of hope that emerges out of a way of doing things in order to think in a certain way, bringing you a sense of prowess, bringing you a sense of empowerment. This way of thinking is possibly, it's very good for you. Something about the Aquarian thing coming out again, which has been all over the place lately, at least in my readings. Uh, okay. Some of the challenges that resound within this connection, whatever it may be, person, place, or thing, revolve around the energy of Mercury and Venus suspended, as well as the moon suspended. There's something about this where the inherent value in the connection causes too much difficulty. In the end, there's a psychological way of doing things, or perhaps triggering, that is going on between you and a significant other. Okay, these triggers are based on the energy of fire and passion. So be careful with what you are trying to come about in terms of truth. Um, mm, a great deal of patience is required here, but there also is a need to alchemize the bridge that exists between you and the significant other. This is going to be challenging considering the structures that you rely on are indeed coming into question now, coming into question of its own validity, of its own prowess to stand against anything. Um, Therefore, there is a type of understanding that is sort of missing in this connection. It requires, once again, the alchemization of expectations that occur between you and the significant other. At the same time, you may be able to constitute within yourself a way of standing for yourself against anything that may challenge you in terms of your footing, okay? So there is a placement here that requires a great deal of patience, okay? Um, but yeah, I think alchemy is on its way. There's something about you bringing in a type of reality that is unknown to the other, okay? And this has to do with finding a secret power or hidden resource. The energy of Moon in Taurus, strong here, or perhaps Sun in Taurus. The energy of Taurus, the season of Taurus, will be giving you, especially with the moon, full moon in Scorpio, something of a boon. Okay, but this boon is hidden from the eyes of them, and perhaps even to the eyes of yourself. So it's important to open them. Perhaps to also hold close your cards whenever dealing with a significant other. They have the moon in Libra in reverse, so there's something about the Aries moon that has proven to be a trigger point, an activator um, leading them to essentially the Three of Swords energy from the 2 to the 3. There's something about them that is devoted to others, but it's through the self-reflective nature of what others may deem them to be doing right. Okay, and there's something about that that stands at the precipice of peace and war. Okay, so the mind is in conflict on their end. You have hidden resources that you're bringing into being, and there perhaps is a longing for you to perhaps reinforce some form of secret promise in the form of memory. Okay, or perhaps in the form of emotional sort of letting out. With the full moon in Scorpio, there's something about the full moon that is bringing back emotional tears or emotional sinews that remind you of some sort of past. Okay. Now, what is emerging out of this is La Papesa in reverse, a secret truth that has to do with the commerce of various truths here that have to do with intellectual thought on one end and reality on the other. There's something here where a secret is revealed or hidden memories are woken up in the emotional body, and these need to be healed in some way, shape, or form. Okay, let the Scorpio full moon transform to the energy of Mars and Pluto, the auspices that you so deem need, that both of you need in terms of this great silence. Yet in the great silence, there is a great knowing, okay? And this knowing has to do with hidden loyalties, but also deep, intensified ways of truly embodying something that is emotional, okay? A strong emotional connection that is trying to be cut on one end. At the same time, this is inflicting pain on themselves, and then also on your end, a holding back of resources hidden, especially commitments that may have once been honored, yet were retrieved in some sort of way. Okay. What I see here, what is emerging, is a possibility that this connection is primarily based on pain, on mostly intellectual or psychical pain that has to do with the importation of thoughts through the ether. Okay, on one end, there is a numbness to it, and the end of a cycle on your end, and perhaps you have constantly been trying to reinforce this ending. Yet at the same time, there is a type of resurgence of truth that emerges out of the ether that you perhaps want to give. And in this respect, there is a forgiveness cycle that exists between you and this other person that has to do with them imparting truth, but then them sort of being hurt in the end of it because the truth is severely damaging in terms of the cycle of the mind. Okay, the mind moving into a form of karma, realizing that they have done it to themselves, and then that if they have not done it to themselves, it is out of not doing it to anyone or anything that that sort of passivity has created what has been a choice for them, which is essentially quite difficult. I think you are over this connection, whatever it may be, and there is something on the distant horizon in which mirrors will become very important. Okay, as well, the sunlight's energy. You must capture that if you can, physically, become a sunshine recorder or to sort of let in the energy of Gemini. Okay, Gemini has to do with the mercurial mind, letting in things and no longer blocking. There is an element here of great pain that was once had on your end, and now they, regardless if they know it or not, are going through that cycle again. They feel the connection. That's what I see. Now, what their challenge is the realm of experience and driving into the coffin some very, very deep shadows that are difficult to for them to release. There is a type of empowerment through the mind. They are very intelligent, whomever they are, but this intelligence is also a type of quasi downfall for them. Um, there is also a type of releasing factor. They may be involved in other thoughts or other ways of doing things where they have found devotion with another or with something else. but they have cut the bonds. There's something about that situation where a release has happened, a shakedown in terms of the realm of Uranus and Aquarius has taken a strong hold on them. Okay, but this is also leading them to very infantile ways of making a choice and making that choice sort of inevitably towards a way of thinking towards your direction, understanding this connection in terms of the pain it's brought to you and mostly to them, because they have done it to themselves. Something like this does not have to be. There is a type of work that they have to do, work of the mind, lots of rumination, lots of thinking. So do not let anything that they may be sending your way in terms of the truth that they realize now, it may be too late for them. At the same time, there is a possibility for a type of harmony that exists between you and them if they work hard enough. Um, the realm of experience needs to be brought to the table. What they have learned needs to be brought to the table. There's something about their mind that fuels their inspiration, and there's a feedback loop and a wave moving back towards whatever you guys have had, or what you may have, or what will be. Ultimately, the energy of Gemini is strong in this reading. So once again, lots of activity within the mind, and these thoughts are very much liminal. There's something that you can feel almost. They're tactile, based on the hand's energy as well, the elocution of learning from the unsaid, or the things that need to be said that are painful indeed. But a wealth of information, maybe sort of gifted to you. I think mostly you're going to use this to convert into something else and let it stand in terms of your philosophy. Both of you have this signature of Sagittarius, and also which is growth and expansion in terms of truths and ideals of existential ways of being that will help alleviate anything. A great deal of happiness is coming your way. They have to work hard towards something, whatever it is. Don't really know. Connection is strong, though. It's based on the Six of Cups energy as well as the Nine of Cups on your end. They have the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles strong. Eight of Pentacles. So there's something of a mercurial hand within them. Gemini strong. Some Libra, lots of Aquarius, but also Virgo. And there's something about them that still may see you as a type of fundamental thing. At the same time, there's something about them that cannot let go of something from the past that has been difficult for them to develop a sense of truth, okay, and truth giving. They have to be real with themselves, whatever that means, in terms of practicalities, perhaps, or what they have done. Yes, that is what I see. So, not the best reading for Libra, but it is something that may help, may or may not help. I do wish you the very, very best in terms of the energy of Taurus season. I invite you to chill out and find ways of enjoying sensuality and embracing Uttara Falguni, which is in truth Leo, but Uttara Falguni, for some reason, I think would help you in terms of bringing forth a way of righteously doing things, finding that rite of passage, and also being chill while doing it. Think of a tiger, where they earn a certain degree of prowess in the jungle, but most of the time, during the daytime especially, they're just relaxing. So, yeah, and the sun, if you can capture sun, find that way to capture sun for the time being. I do respect you and thank you for tuning in. Please take care now. Bye bye.